little early gadget play, and back in the secondary. Back to the close for the first time. Missed the last one after. High snap with Patrick left again. Bouncing beyond.
He's very coachable, and he likes to get out.
Home opener for the defending champs.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to Classic High School Football in Your Review. I'm your host, Chris Harris, and we've got some serious star power for you in this game. It's a 2010 matchup from Louisiana, played on October 8th between the Dutchtown Griffins and the Destrehan Wildcats. The biggest star on the field is Dutchtown's Landon. Collins went on to become a national champion and All-American at the University of Alabama and now plays for the New York Giants. Make yourself comfortable and get ready for some football. Dutchtown and Destrehan is coming up next.
Two high school football programs that have a ton of respect for each other face off tonight in Ascension Parish as the Dutchtown Griffins host the Destrehan Wildcats. I'm Jeff Palermo along with Derek Stingley. Derek, let's look at the keys to the game brought to you by Brian Harris Chevy.
Here we go. First for Destrehan, what they need to do, they need to be more consistent. They have to have more consistency on offense. And number two, they have to stop the running game. They're going to get a lot of running backs running at them for this game, and they have to cover up Christie. Christie is probably a big play threat guy that's probably going to get the ball. They have to do a good job against him. And as for Dutchtown, what Dutchtown needs to do, they need to have a better kicking game because they suffered a little bit last week, but they have to get things rolling. They have to win the turnover battle and most definitely limit Destrehan's ability to make big plays.
Both of these teams come into this contest with records of 2-1. Dutchtown ranked number 7 in Class 5A, but the Griffins lost to Zachary last week 21-14, while Destrehan got a big win over West Jefferson 22-12. Tyler Sarazan will be kicking it off for the Dutchtown Griffins, and we are underway from Geismar, Louisiana, and as usual, Sarazan's kick sails into the end zone. So we'll take a look at the Dutchtown offense to start off this football game. The Griffins had 390 total yards of offense last week, but still ended up losing to Zachary 21-14. As we take a look at the starting lineups, brought to you by Peak Performance and Physical Therapy. Brian Hernandez is the leader of that offensive line unit. He was out last week with an MCL injury. The quarterback for Destrehan is Donovan Isom, and Isom runs off the left side and he picks up a yard as they get up to the 21-yard line. So we were taking a look at Dutchtown's offensive start. Let's take a look at Destrehan's offensive starters as they get the football first. Nolan Sharp, strong athlete, potential Division I player there. And then you look at the rest of the offensive line. Sharp is the only senior, and then you also have Lewis Kiefer, who is a sophomore. Second down and 9 for Eisman and the Destrehan Wildcats as he rolls out to the far side, and the pass is caught over there. That is by Alfred Smith, who had 4 catches a week ago, and it sets up third down and long for Destrehan. Third down and 8 is going to be the call. There you look at Dutchtown's defense, the front 4 of Frazier, Edwards, Medine, and Elias. And then the linebackers, Garrett Revere, Alex Thibodeau, one of the leading tacklers on this team, 14 tackles. Third down and long, and Isom is going to be sacked back at the 14-yard line. He was hit by a couple of Dutchtown players. Keenan Edwards was there along with David Elias. Elias got to him first, Sting.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go with the ball. It looked like Dutchtown was playing a little zone. They were rerouting some of the receivers, and the guys that he really wanted to get the ball to, they were covered up deep. Before you knew it, the pass rush was on top of him.
So a 3 and out for Destrehan's offense, which averages 25 points a game, but they didn't do much there. And Dutchtown's returner, as you take a look at them, they no longer have Landon Collins back there, but they have Torrance Mosley. Low snap. Both of these teams have had issues on special teams. We'll get to that as the game goes on. And it's going to be down at the 43-yard line, and Dutchtown will have excellent field position to start this football game. The Griffins, as I mentioned last week, 390 yards of total offense. 3 starters returning on this Dutchtown offense as they run a zone read offense. Mason Nickens is the quarterback, a dual-threat QB for the Griffins. He's thrown for 356 yards this season. He's rushed for 216 and had a very balanced attack last week in that loss to Zachary as he rushed for 120, or I should say he threw for 126 yards and rushed for 119. 1st and 10 at the 43, and they hand it off. This is Margrass, and Margrass looks like he has a first down as he runs in between the tackles, picking up 11 yards. Let's take a look at the Dutchtown starting lineup, brought to you again by Peak Performance and Physical Therapy. There you take a look at that offensive line. I mentioned it before. Hernandez was out last week with the MCL. 3 seniors, Chandler and Rodas are the other 2 seniors there. And there you look at the skill position players. Shelby Christie, he's a commitment to Mississippi State. 1st down and 10 as it has started to rain here at Dutchtown High School. Another inside give, and Margrass, who has 150 yards rushing, a powerful running back, picks up about 6 or 7 on that play as Dutchtown runs their no-huddle offense. Let's look at that Destrehan starting lineup, brought to you by Peak Performance and Physical Therapy. Not a big defensive line there with Sharp, Leonard, and Phillips, and then a couple linebackers you see, and then more linebackers. Raywan Marbley, he's an excellent player. So is Denzel Arsenault and David Sampson. Handoff once again up the middle, and they are into the red zone as they pick up a first down. That is Margrass doing the heavy running here for the Dutchtown Griffins. As the Griffins moving the football quite well, and they are already inside the GN Gonzalez red zone.
Tell you what, you had 3 good runs right up the middle. Dutchtown must see something on Destrehan's defensive left side to where they feel like they can get some good yards against them right there.
Very young Destrehan defense, only 3 seniors, 5 juniors, and they have 3 sophomores in that starting lineup. 1st down and 10. Nickens in his shotgun formation with the ball at the 17-yard line. He'll go to the air for the first time, and this is Christie, and the Mississippi State commitment gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Dutchtown, on a 17-yard swing pass that results in the first score of the football game.
All this was a swing pass, a quick pass right. It's basically like a long handoff, but you get into your best playmaker's hands right there. You got to do better than that in order to bring a play like that down. 6 points. Good job, Christie.
Christie, his 2nd touchdown of the season, his 10th catch of the year. He's a 6'3", 190-pound senior. Unfortunately, there is an injured Dutchtown player on the field. And rain falling down in this game. Christie gets into the end zone for Dutchtown. Not a good start for Destrehan, who had the big win over West Jefferson. West Jefferson came into that game last week, ranked number 5 in Class 5A. And Destrehan beat them 22-12, and that came off Sting a very difficult loss to Carr, where they lost 45-7.
Yeah, this Dutchtown group, they're not used to losing games, especially in the regular season. So pretty sure they're kind of chopping at the bit right now to put some points up on the board to get a victory tonight.
Well, the injured player is at least sitting up, unable to catch a number on him. But they're going to help him up here, and he is going to need some assistance to get off the field. And that injured player for Dutchtown is Joshua Langlow. And hopefully that is not a severe injury there, but never a good sign when you're not able to leave the field on your own power.
No, hopefully he'll shake it loose when he get off to the sideline. It's not a good sign, though.
Tyler Sarazan will try the extra point here for Dutchtown. An excellent kicker. We'll talk a lot about him here tonight. Guy can make field goals from 50-plus yards, and this is just an extra point to make it 7-0. And that is through the upright. So a good start for Dutchtown. We'll see how Destrehan can respond when we come back on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
I didn't get the time. I just know it's 4-play.
There's a look at our ITI Technical College scoring drive. 4 plays, 43 yards, the touchdown pass to Shelby Christie, getting Dutchtown on the scoreboard to begin this game. And Sarazan will kick it back off to Destrehan. The Wildcats did nothing with the football on their first drive of the night as they went 3 plays and out. But a nice start for Dutchtown, coming off a tough loss last week to Zachary. And Sarazan's kick end over end, and it looks like it will get into the end zone, deep into the end zone, and it's a touchback. And we'll get to see Destrehan's offense once again.
It's amazing that Sarazan hasn't been getting any real looks from any college teams. I mean, you say he can kick, 50, 51, 53-yard field goals and nothing?
Yeah, Coach Sayo was saying that he's a little surprised that he has not been able to get many looks, but he thinks it'll be coming. First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Eisman fakes the handoff, now runs off the right end. Got a first down and much more, and then he steps out of bounds at the 36-yard line. A 16-yard pickup for Donovan Eisman.
Nice, good-looking spread option look right there. They basically have the numbers against Dutchtown to the right side of their field, and he got positive yards off that. I mean, the linebackers went to his left, and he went to the right. Big play.
Isom, he's only a junior, but he is going to get a lot of looks. Arizona State is just one school that has already started to take a lot of interest in him. He'll quickly throw the football, and that pass is complete. That is Ricky Jefferson, the younger brother of Jordan Jefferson, as he picks up 5 yards. Of course, the LSU commitment coming off that torn ACL injury from a season ago.
Yeah, he looks like a good player right there, too. I mean, this is just a simple hitch route. I mean, he's going to look for his star receiver all day, and Dutchtown is in the zone. Linebackers playing a little deep. They're completed underneath.
Isom's throw, and that is caught once again by Jefferson, showing some nice, good hands there. He was hit immediately by Chris Collins, but not before another first down by Destrehan.
Destrehan seems to be settling down a little bit now. They're finding some holes in these zones, and Isom he's rolling the pocket a little bit to buy himself some time, and Jordan is doing a good job of getting open and holding on to the ball.
So after going 3 and out on their first drive, Destrehan has picked up a couple of first downs, and now they run the football, and there is a huge hole here for Will Matthews all the way up to the 33-yard line. Actually stayed on his feet, and as he gets past the 30 to about the 27-yard line, a big run there. They pass, and then they hit him with the run. Steve.
Yeah, they kind of got him off their heels a little bit. They gave him a couple of pass plays, and then now they got the run play. And it's basically off the same look. I mean, because this is the same look that they got 2 plays earlier, but it was a pass play. Now it's a run play for some big yardage.
Hammered out of bounds by Yamari Velez. First and 10 at the 24 with Destrehan moving the football. Isom now looks like they're changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Matthews still the running back. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Alfred Smith is the wide receiver to the top. Handoff to Ricky Jefferson. Jefferson looking for some room, and he's shoved out of bounds by Tevin Reed, who's one of the standout players on Dutchtown's defense. And that brings up 2nd and 8, Sting.
Yeah, Jefferson, they're trying to use him a lot. They're trying to get him going early, and this was a nice little speed sweep, but Dutchtown's defense was way too fast for him. He couldn't even get up the field. He had to take it out of bounds.
Destrehan averaging 25 points a game. Their offensive coordinator is Greg Boyne. Playing a little bit more spread offense this year with Stephen Robichaux back at the helm for the Destrehan Wildcats. Isom rolling out to the near side. He can run it if he wants to. Throws it at the last second into double coverage, and it's incomplete. Knocked away by Yamari Velez. Looked like he could have just ran for the first down, Sting.
Yeah, and I'm thinking he was past the line of scrimmage because I thought that he was going to run it, and there's a flag right there. That may be the call. But right here, he had a lot of green grass right there to pick up some big yards, but he chose to throw it, and he threw it into triple coverage at that. You know, that's exactly what they're calling. He was already crossed the line of scrimmage when he made the pass. I mean, but he had a lot of green grass in front of him where he may have could have scored. There
you take a look at the Dutchtown sidelines. You see Coach Benny Saya. He's got the I know a lot of them got visors on, but he's the one adjusting his headset there. And if Coach Benny Saya has been here ever since Dutchtown has been here, 11 seasons at Dutchtown. He's won 75 games.
He's done a good job with this team. I mean, and a lot of good athletes have been to some D1 schools under him, so he does a good job with these young men.
Well, 3rd down and long 3rd down and about 11. Remember, on the illegal forward pass, Sting, that's a loss of down as well. So Isom to the air here, and the pass is complete as his receiver found a spot in the zone. Going to be shy of the 1st down by a couple of yards, but making the catch there was Mike Smith, a junior, 5'8", 150 pounds. Now 4th down. Destrehan's kicker is Cameron Wash. We'll see if Coach Stephen Robichaux will go for it or kick a field goal.
Looks like they may be going for it. I don't see the quarterback coming off the field.
It's about 4th and 4. It's still early here. As there you look at Coach Robichaux back at Destrehan after spending the last couple of seasons watching his daughter cheerlead over at St. Charles. Isom. He's just going to run it this time. Sting puts his head down, and does he have enough for the 1st down?
Think so. No.
He needed to get to the 14. They mark him down at the 15. And I don't think he got there. And it looks like Destrehan's drive is going to stall inside the GN Gonzalez red zone, and it does.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's rolling right, but if he'd have looked left out there, he had McGee out there sitting at the sticks. He was wide open. And maybe it's because of the fact that he rolled to the right and the coverage kind of went with him. But he had a 1st down, but he felt that maybe he can get it with his legs. But unfortunately, they failed.
So Dutchtown will take over now. They had a quick scoring drive their first time. Mason Nickens back out there, 4.6 speed. Really makes this offense go, and he threw a touchdown pass to Shelby Christie. Nickens will hand it off, and that is Torrance Mosley. Mosley picks up about 3. When you see number 2 in Dutchtown, you think of Landon Collins, but that's not Landon. That's Torrance Mosley, who is getting interest from LSU. He's a junior, 5'9", 156 pounds. He's rushed for nearly 200 yards this season, averaging about 10 yards a carry, and there is another injured player. So let's take a break. 7-0, Dutchtown leading Destrehan, and we have an injured Destrehan player on the field. We'll be back after this on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Dutchtown is facing 2nd down and 7 with the football at their own 17-yard line. Jeff Palermo, Derek Stingley, Brandon Rizzuto, and Haley Asaro here at Dutchtown High School. And it's great to be here for the Cox 4 Game of the Week. I believe this might be, I've been doing the Cox 4 Game of the Week a long time, Sting, and I think this is our first game at Dutchtown. So it's a pleasure to be here. I want to thank Coach Benny Saya for allowing us to be here. Pass out to Shelby Christie, and Christie looks like he's got the 1st down. They can do that play all night, right,
Sting?
Yeah,
because it looks like Destrehan is playing some type of zone, and even though they're covering Christie up, they're not playing him man-to-man. So the other receiver, all he's doing is blocking down over the guy that's over him, and he's getting 5 to 6 yards off that play every time.
1st down and 10 at the 28 is Dutchtown looking to move the football again. Nickens, the quarterback, 5'11", 183 pounds, a senior. You get a good look at him there as they hand it off one more time. And maybe about 3 or 4 yards on that carry. As the rusher there was Terrence Mosley, had 87 yards rushing last week in the loss to Zachary. Dutchtown started its season. As you look at the Dutchtown sidelines once again, they were supposed to play Lutcher in the first game, but that was canceled because of Isaac. So they started their season shutting out Donaldsonville 45-0, then defeated Sulphur 49-17, and then fell to Zachary 21-14 last week. Mosley to carry again, and more running room. It's amazing how Dutchtown just able to run the football here on Destrehan, and there's not been much resistance from the Wildcats.
That's a tough physical run right there by that young man. I mean, I know he's, 5'9", maybe 180. I mean, but he's running between the tackles as if he's 6 feet, 220. I mean, he's laying his load. He carried that guy at least about 6 or 7 yards after contact. That's a tough run.
1st and 10. Dutchtown has it at its own 43-yard line. Give it to Mosley again, and he's going to be tackled from behind. But that offensive line for the Griffins, they are just dominating that defensive line. Coach Stephen Robichaux said this defensive line of his is not as big as some of the D-lines that Destrehan had when, they were winning state championships in 2007 and 2008. They had Darrington Centimore and Rufus Porter and guys like that. Not as big on that D-line. And right now, Dutchtown's offensive line is dominating it.
Yeah, I mean, you can see on every play that they're just getting pushed. The offensive line is just – they're basically owning the line of scrimmage right now.
Well, that time Destrehan was able to stop Mosley after only a pickup of a couple yards. They may have to measure to see if this is enough for a first down as they got the ball up to the 47. There's a look at Torrance Mosley, averaging close to 10 yards a carry. He's good at running the football. He's caught some passes too, 5 catches for 131 yards on the season.
Yeah, he's a good-looking player. I mean, you can tell he has the quicks to get outside, and what we've seen so far, he's physical enough to run right up the middle. That's a tough combination. Well,
one of the things Destrehan wanted to do was to stop Dutchtown's running game. Unable to do it so far. One reason why the Griffins are up 7-0.
Yeah, they basically been running at will. I mean, that was probably the most positive play that Destrehan had against Dutchtown. It was only maybe a 3-yard gain.
So 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. 2 running backs in the backfield now. As Tyler Myers has joined Mosley. Play action fake. Nickens right up the middle. Burst of speed to the 34-yard line and is brought down finally, but not before another first down for Dutchtown on the quarterback keeper. Brandon Scott wrestled Nickens down. He's a tough kid, 5'11", 183 pounds.
They hit him with a little misdirection right here. I mean, they've been giving him a dose of Mosley, and then here he comes right now, right up the middle. Nickens just get a stiff arm and carry got another 6 or 7 yards. I mean, this offense is just like a well-oiled machine almost.
They've averaged so far this season 27 points a contest. 220 yards on the ground, 95 through the air is what they're averaging. Mosley looking for some room to the outside, to the 25, to the 20. Gets all the way down to the 4-yard line before he's thrown down.
You can just see the burst of speed that he has right there. I mean, when he bounces to the outside, I mean, he almost shot off into another gear. I mean, right here, let's take a look at it right here. I mean, once he bounces it outside right now, it looked as to be the fastest guy right now on the field. I mean, that extra gear that he turned it up, that was pretty explosive.
Finally thrown out of bounds by Denzel Arsenault. Mosley, the running back here, he's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting on this drive, an impressive drive. And they go right to Mosley, puts his head down, and he stopped at the 1. Let's quickly go down to the field. Haley Asaro is with Farm Bureau. Haley, take it away.
Patrick Gomez from Farm Bureau in Ascension Parish. First, we're going to come over here and talk to Patrick. Patrick, Farm Bureau is a very special sponsor of Cox 4. Now, in your opinion, why does Farm Bureau and Cox 4 Game of the Week make such a good partnership?
Well, we're a local company, and this is our community. We like to give back. These are our insureds. These are our family members, and it just makes sense to give back to them.
Now, we were talking earlier about the benefits of Farm Bureau. Can you elaborate on those for our viewers?
Yes, the 2 main things is in Louisiana we have a lot of storms. Our claims department is second to none. I mean, they do a great job in representing us, and I just really want to give them credit for that. Another thing is our confidential review. We want to go through your policies and explain everything so you're comfortable with the coverage that you have.
Well, thank you so much, and now we're going to come over here to Jeff. Jeff, Farm Bureau has a variety of products that the agents can provide. Talk a little bit about those products.
Yeah, well, as Patrick said, we're here local. We've been here for a long time, and we provide home insurance, auto insurance, life insurance for your whole family needs, as well as health insurance, some commercial policies, liability, and farm products as well.
Now talk about the local businesses. Where can we find you? Are you on the web?
Yeah, absolutely. We have our website as well. We're located locally here in Gonzales, right here on 39385 Airline Highway on Gonzales, or Gonzales Plaza Place, and Airline, and that's where we're located, right here local, close to Dutchtown High School.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. That's Farm Bureau, real service, real people. Back up to you guys.
Mason Nickens with the very hard, physical 1-yard touchdown run to give Dutchtown a 13-0 lead. And as they were lining up for the extra point, looks like Destrehan had too many men on the field. So that will make things a little bit easier here for Sarazan to boot the extra point through.
He took a shot. That was an earned yard right there. I mean, right here they ran a little option right here, but I mean,
David Sampson tried to hit him, but Nixon carried him into the end zone.
He's a big guy. I mean, he's a tough guy to bring down, but he took some punishment for that 1-yard touchdown.
Coach Saya has to be pleased with this start. You can't really ask for anything better. The defense set the tone by forcing the 3-and-out from Destrehan on the opening drive of the night. High snap, but the kick is through. 14-0, 1:04 left to go in the first quarter. More of the Cox 4 game of the week after this. The ITI Technical College scoring drive, very impressive. 85 yards there for Dutchtown to go up 14-0. 64 seconds left to go in this first quarter. And Sarazan on the kickoff. And that one sails into the end zone. Now time for a peak performance physical therapy injury report. Brandon Rizzuto has an update on Joshua Langley. Brandon?
Thanks, guys. Had a chance to walk around the side. Number 79, Joshua Langolis, looked to be hobbled up. He was getting some attention to his right leg. Looked to be his knee. He was getting ice put on it. I don't know whether he's going to come back in the game. No definitive word from the medical staff for Dutchtown. Guys, that's all I have. Back to you upstairs.
Thanks a lot, Brandon. Let's see what Destrehan can do. They're down 14-0. They hand it off. Will Matthews, and there's a flag that goes down after a pickup of only about 4. And this looks like it will be going against Destrehan, and they need something here, Sting, and it can't be 1st down and 20 right off the bat on this drive.
No, they need a big play, a big pass play. Maybe they can go to Jefferson, maybe, but this Destrehan's defense is too quick for them to try to get outside like that. They need more misdirection.
On the offense, 10 yards, and play 1st down again.
So 1st down and 20 now for the Destrehan Wildcats. We've seen a lot of Will Matthews running the football. They also have some other guys that they can hand the football off to. Lou Donovan Wells, Talvin Michael. In that game last week where they beat West Jeff, they didn't really run the ball very well anyways, or no one had any big statistical games running or a statistical game running the football. Donovan Wells had 39 yards rushing. Here's a pass out to the far side, and big hit coming up at the 27-yard line, as that was Alfred Smith with the catch. And that's how you make up 20 yards pretty quick. You swing it out to Alfred Smith, and he gets you 17.
Yeah, they ran a nice little screen. It was blocked pretty well, too. I mean, the guys picked up their blocks immediately out the gate, and he was able to get out to the sideline. But he took a shot right there in the jaw. Oh, my goodness. But he stayed on his feet, and he was still a tough guy to bring down, though.
Yamari Velez lowered the shoulder to deliver the blow, and what was 1st down and 20 now is 2nd down and 3 for the Wildcats, and that might have been our final play of the first quarter, which has been dominated by Dutchtown. They lead it 14-0. We'll take a break. Second quarter coming up on the Cox 4 game of the week.
End of the first quarter, Landon Collins already making his presence felt for Dutchtown with a forced fumble leading to the Griffins' first score. Dutchtown was undefeated and ranked 3rd in the state coming in. The Griffins had been knocking on the door for several years under the direction of head coach Benny Saya, but this year's squad seemed poised to take it to the next level. Well, they were definitely taking it to Destrehan in this one. Second quarter action is coming up.
14-0 is our score. Jeff Palermo, Derek Stingley, Brandon Rizzuto, and Haley Asaro from Dutchtown High School. First quarter dominated by the Griffins. Total yards in that first quarter, 128-79. Destrehan had that nice drive that stalled in the GN Gonzalez red zone. But Dutchtown has touched the football twice, and they have scored touchdowns both times.
Yeah, they have to get something going on this drive right here.
2nd down and 3. Isom Swings it out, and the pass is caught by Mike Smith. Turns upfield and should have enough for the first down before he is hit out of bounds. He needed to get to the 30, just got across the 30.
That play actually had me faked out. I don't know who had the ball. That was a great play fake by the quarterback and the running back.
So first down and 10 at the 30-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Another swing pass. This is, again, is Will Matthews, and Matthews has got a first down up to the 44-yard line, showing off that speed. He's a guy that can run in between the tackles or take it outside like he did right here, Sting.
Yeah, this is a nice, safe play for them, and it's getting them some big yards because Destrehan is doing a good job of setting up the blocking. And when I first saw that, I thought it was face mask, but that's a legal tackle right there.
Isom has not thrown an incompletion yet. He's 7 for 7. He was sacked. Remember, that was on that third down play on the opening drive. Now they run an end around, and taking it over to the far sideline is Damian Armstrong. And he gets about 3 or 4 on the play.
Yeah, but he ran about 20 yards to get 3 yards.
Slow developing play.
I mean, and like I say, Destrehan, they have good speed on the defense, and that's a tough play to get over a defense like that with that team speed out there.
Coach Benny Saya led Dutchtown to an undefeated regular season last season, but they had that heartbreaking loss to Ponchatoula in the first round of the playoffs. Isom keeps it here. He's tough to bring down, and he's got a first down up to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, he's a big physical quarterback. It's going to take more than just someone knocking him down to get him down to the ground. Right here, this was a pretty interesting play right here, what they did. They kind of had a pitch guy, but he would have to throw it back laterally, but he was able to get some positive yards off that.
Finally banged down on the play by Victor Matur. First and 10 at the 41. Destrehan on the move again, but they're still looking for their first points of the game. Isom throws, pass complete on the far side. I think that was to Talvin Michael, I believe, number 3 on the catch. Actually, number 5, Derek McGee makes the grab.
Yeah, once again, Isom had a lot of field in front of him to where he could have ran that ball if he wanted to, but he has some pretty good playmakers out there at the wide receiver position, and he's making sure that the right guys get the ball.
The weather, it's been raining really since the start of the football game, not affecting Isom. Again, he has not thrown an incompletion yet, 2nd down and 1. Will Matthews around the left end. He's got the first down, still moving those legs, gets to the 26-yard line. Let's go down to the sidelines and Haley Asaro. Haley?
Thanks, guys. We're down here with Hannah Lee from the Patrick Peterson Foundation. Hannah, there's an event coming up called Walking on Sunshine. That's actually tomorrow. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, that's exactly right. Patrick Peterson, as you might know, was an All-American LSU football player, and he's currently playing for the Arizona Cardinals right now. But he started this because his mom actually had cancer, so now he knows how important it is to get back to the cure. This year's event is going to be featuring 5 special kids, 3 of which the donations are going to go straight to. We're going to have 2 which we're presenting. We're going to have 2 which we're presenting on stage, but it's going to be a great time. We're going to have mobile gaming, food, fun. Lindsay Cardinale from American Idol is going to be there. We're also going to have Jacques Doucet from WFB, and he's going to be the MC. So it's going to be a great time. Make sure you come. The tickets are going to be $25 at the door, and that is going to be your donation. It's going to go straight to the kids.
Now, this event is at Walk-Ons, and if we have another night like this, what's going to happen?
Well, if it's going to rain, we are still going to be in full swing. We're going to have tents ready to set up. So be ready to come out and give your donations. These kids really need it and would love for you to do this. Actually, and Patrick Peterson would love for this to happen too. He's going to be Skyping in at the event because he actually has a home game, so he won't be able to be there. But him and his family and his friends will be at the event.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. Again, the event is Walking on Sunshine tomorrow, September 29th at Walk-Ons. Get out there if you're LSU tailgating. Be sure to stop by Walk-Ons. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Haley, as Destrehan has moved the football into the Don Bone Buick red zone. This is 2nd and about 5 from the 9. Isom will just keep them itself. eludes one defender, then runs over a couple to get into the end zone for a touchdown. And the Wildcats are on the board after an impressive run there by Donovan Isom.
Yeah, he's a big kid. I mean, he's going to be a tough tackle all night if he chooses to run the ball. I mean, and Destrehan is doing a good job with play calling, too. They're giving him a couple of options, too. When he rolled out to his right or to his left, just then he rolled out to his left. He had a receiver behind him that he could have threw it to. Then he also had a slant in front of him, so it kind of compromised the linebacker in the corner. He was able to take advantage of it by just running right up the middle and getting a touchdown.
Cameron Walsh to try the extra point. As Destrehan, well, that was an impressive run, though, as Walsh gets it through the uprights. We got a good one from Dutchtown High School. 8:13 left to go before halftime. Griffins 14, Wildcats 7 on the Cox 4 game of the week. Property scoring drive, 11 plays, 80 yards, capped off by that touchdown run from Donovan Isom, who has done a nice job leading the Destrehan offense here tonight in less than ideal conditions. Cameron Walsh with the kickoff. And it looks like we'll have our first return of the night as it's taken by Torrance Mosley. Mosley trying to wait for his blockers, and that allowed Destrehan on the return team to get down there and make the stop. One of the men there for Destrehan, Josh Gariano, who's a senior linebacker. So we'll see how Dutchtown can respond after a very nice drive of 80 yards by the Destrehan offense. Dutchtown will take over at their own 17-yard line. Mason Nickens has a touchdown run on the night. He's also a good baseball player. LSU Eunice is taking a look at him.
Two sports star.
First down and 10 at the 17. Nickens surveying at defense. And he's going to throw, and the pass is off the hands of the intended receiver, Christie, and that brings up second down and 10. And that might be what Destrehan needs. They haven't forced Dutchtown in many second down and long situations.
Well, because Dutchtown's been running the ball more. This is
right.
This is them throwing it now. They may be a little bit out of their element with the environment right now, but they have much more success with running the ball, and maybe they'll get back to it. But that ball bounced off the hands of Christie where he should have actually caught that pass.
Looks like the rain is coming down harder here at Dutchtown High. Destrehan showing blitz. Nickens is going to go to the air again. They set up the screen, and the pass is caught by Dakota Brown. And then he's wrestled to the ground at about the 24-yard line. Gets about 6 on the play. Brings up third down. For Dutchtown. Go ahead, Sting.
Here's a nice little misdirection screen play to the tight end. But Destrehan was ready for it. I mean, I know he got 6 yards, but that could have been a big play.
Dutchtown is 1 of 1 on third down conversions here in this football game. Third down and 4. Handoff, and there's a big bursting hole there and a nice run, a hard run by Austin Brown, and then a flag at the end. He might be tacking on some more yards because of a face mask. And then there's another flag all the way back at the line of scrimmage, though, which may go against Dutchtown.
Yeah, they have to sort this all out. I mean, you got two groups of officials huddling up right now talking about the play.
The good news is these are not replacement officials, Sting.
No, they're high school officials. So are they really replacement officials? But
they're
high school.
They're the best that Louisiana has to offer, and they do a great job week in and week out.
They do an awesome job.
Illegal position, 5 men in the backfield, right here, horse collar, right here, replay.
So third down and 4, and we'll do it all over again. So they didn't have illegal formation. The call on Dutchtown. We'll take a look at the replay as this was really a strong run.
Yeah, it was
by
right
Austin
at the middle,
Brown.
and I mean, he shot out the gate on him like he was shot out the cannon. That was a good, nice, big play run by Brown.
Coming into this game, Dutchtown was 9 of 24 on third down conversions. As I mentioned before, they are 1 for 1 tonight. We'll set it up again, and Brown still in the backfield. along with Torrance Mosley. Nickens looking, throws over the middle, and that's caught by Christie. He's hit immediately on the play by Denzel Arsenault, but not before a first down for the Griffins as they get about 11 on the play to the 35-yard line.
They ran a nice little play. They ran a 5 or 10-yard stack route and a swing play. They kind of put the DB and the linebacker in a tough position, and Christie sat right in the middle of the zone for a first down.
Third catch of the game for Christie, as he's got 3 catches for 38 yards and the touchdown pass. He had a 17-yard touchdown catch earlier in this game. First down and 10 at the 36. This again is Austin Brown, and he's brought down after a pickup of a yard. There defensively, that's Edward Leonard, only a sophomore for Destrehan, but he looks like he's going to be a good one at 5'11", 274 pounds.
Yeah, he was right there. He met him right smack in the hole. He got no yards after contact.
Second down and 10. Yeah, they stopped him right at the line of scrimmage. Ball placed at the 36-yard line. Christie, the wide receiver, to the near side. Nickens keeps it himself, and he's had a lot of running room up the middle, and he runs over the tackler. That was a powerful run. That is lowering the boom, as they say, Sting. Brandon Scott was on the receiving end of that end.
I'll tell you what, you know who he looks like running his ball
Tim
with that number
Tebow.
15 jersey on right now. I mean, he took off, and he just said, you know what, I'm not running around you. I'm running through you. That's a good run.
Timeout on the field, 14-7, Dutchtown leading, and they are on the move here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Mason Nickens hands it off, and another big gain here for Austin Brown as he carries a couple tacklers to the 32-yard line. Big pickup there, about 17 yards for Austin Brown, the senior, 5'5", 169 pounds.
We're seeing some physical play right now by Dutchtown. I mean, it's coming from the quarterback, the receivers, the running backs, Brown. I mean, they're not shying away from contact at all. They're trying to run through the defenders. Those are some tough runs right there.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line. You're starting to wonder if Destrehan's going to be able to stop him at all. Nickens breaks away to the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Griffins, on an exceptional run there by Mason Nickens. 33 yards on the score. And Dutchtown back on the board and an extra point away from having its 2-touchdown lead back.
They have weapons all over the field right now. Their main weapon right now is the quarterback. I mean, you could tell that he's fast. What he runs, a 4.6, and right here he's showing every bit of it. And he's able to carry guys. He's just as fast and physical. I mean, he's a player. Touchdown.
Tulane is also looking at him. We mentioned LSU Eunice for baseball. But he is showing something here tonight. Couple touchdown runs for Nickens, and that is the difference in this one. 5:23 left before halftime. You're watching the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Sarazan ready to kick it off back to Destrehan as you take a look at Mason Nickens getting some water there. He's been doing it all. A couple touchdown runs on the night for him. And Dutchtown trying to rebound from a loss last week to Zachary. And right now they are in control, 21-7. Sarazan's kick. Another strong one into the end zone for a touchback. So can Donovan Isom match what Dutchtown's been able to do offensively? This could turn into an arena game the way
it may. It may. You have quarterbacks that can do a good job of their offense. You got 2 running quarterbacks. You got spread offenses. It's somewhat like an arena game, but we'll see. We'll see if Isom can match what Nickens just did.
There you look at Isom. He started playing varsity football as a freshman. You can tell he's got the body for it. 6'4", 230. And then he started for Destrehan midway through last season. And the one thing that Coach Robichaux talks about with Isom is his work ethic. They got to chase him off the field. He's one of those kind of guys that he is constantly out there, always wanting to throw with someone, looking at game film. There's a pass out to the near side. I believe this is Jefferson on the catch. And Ricky Jefferson gets up to the 27-yard line. There is a flag, so let's wait a second before we see if this play stands. Looks like the call is going to go against Destrehan.
Against White, 10 yards. Play one again.
Well, this is how their drive started last time, and they overcame it and still scored a touchdown as you look at Coach Benny say it.
Well, I didn't see the block in the back. I mean, it looked like it was a clean block. But, you know, I'm way up here in the press box. They have a better view than I do.
So now they're back at their 10-yard line. Isom, swing pass. Hits the man right in stride. That's Will Matthews, who's had a big game, and he's got another big gain. Stays on his feet across the 30 to the 35-yard line. 25-yard pickup. They're pretty good on 1st and 20.
I tell you what, maybe that's how they need to start every series for him. But here's another swing pass right here. He's just using his speed to get to the outside, and this is the one time where Dutchtown was blocked. I mean, because early in the game they were able to defend this play. But that's just a good play.
Justin Sabley on the offensive lineman down the field. There was a lot of good blocking down the field. Is Ricky Jefferson setting up a block, or is there another flag on the play? And there is. So this is coming back.
Maybe that's why he had those big yards. But
holding going to be a call this time. And so it's back to the 10. Boy, that's tough.
Yeah,
Coach Saya breathes a sigh of relief.
That got to sting. That stings a whole bunch if you're Destrehan.
Isom trying to get the guys lined up. Quiet guy, that's what Coach Robichaux says. Not much of a vocal person. Jordan Jefferson, of course, who led Destrehan to a couple state championships. He was a quiet guy, as most LSU fans know. And Coach Robichaux says Isom and Jefferson are a lot like that. But Ricky, he's a different kind of guy. He's a very vocal guy.
Class clown.
Yeah, it describes him as a class clown in a good way. So Isom keeps it here, and he gets upended. Nice tackle on the play by Dutchtown's James Brown. Go low and knock the big man down.
I was going to say, that's a nice, safe tackle right there. You got to protect yourself because you're outweighed by, it almost looks like 100 pounds right here. And he's not trying to avoid him. He's saying, I'm running you right over, but he gets low and up in him.
Alex Thibodeau also in on the stop for Dutchtown as it brings up 2nd down and about 15. Play action fake. Isom goes deep. He's got a man and just missed him. Alfred Smith had beat the Dutchtown defense, and the pass was just beyond his reach.
And right before the play, I was going to say, it looked like we got single coverage down here to the right. And, I mean, he did a good job of reading the defense and throwing it to the right spot. He just needs to put a little more air on it or maybe a little more trajectory to where the receiver can get underneath the ball. And that would have been a big play right there for a touchdown.
So now Destrehan's drive is in trouble here. The ball down at the 15-yard line. They got to get it all the way up to the 30. So 3rd down and 15. 3:52 to go before halftime. And Destrehan down by 14. Playing in a driving rainstorm here tonight. A lot of wet fans out there, umbrellas, ponchos. Isom set up the screen. Pass is complete, but Dutchtown's there defensively to shut it down.
Yeah, it looked like that screen was ran a little bit too far behind the line of scrimmage. If he probably would have went up the field just a little bit, he had his blockers in front of him where he would have got past the D-line. But the way he ran it, he kind of ran right back into the D-line, and they were able to make that tackle right there.
Frederick Frazier, David Elias, a couple of the Griffins there defensively. So now Dutchtown will have to punt. Destrehan will have to punt. Cameron Walsh out there. Last week, Destrehan had a bad snap that led to a safety, so you got to watch it here. And the first snap of the night was basically a ground ball to Cameron Walsh, who barely got the punt off. That's a better snap, and Dutchtown was coming after it, but he just got rid of it, and it takes a Destrehan bounce and roll, but great field position for Dutchtown. 1st and 10, Dutchtown will take over at the Destrehan 45-yard line. Well, Destrehan's defense has to come up with a stop now. They cannot allow Dutchtown just to march down there and go up by 3 touchdowns.
No, they can't have that going into halftime. They need to bear down a little bit right now and play some good defense.
Margas, the running back, in the backfield with Nickens. Christie, the wide receiver, to the near side. And now they run the jet sweep to Kajan Coleman, and he gets thrown down for a while and never got brought down. Actually, that was Corey McBride, who is a track star for Dutchtown.
I mean, you can almost credit Sampson for that because he was able to set that edge and make sure that he had to cut back underneath on that speed sweep, because if he didn't set that edge, that would have been another big play for Dutchtown.
So 2nd down and 12 after the 2-yard loss as we get closer to the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. Margrass, the running back, once again in the backfield with Nickens. They adjust where he's at. Nickens, half roll, throws downfield. Pass in and is it caught there by McBride? No, he can't catch it. Can't hang on to it. Good coverage there.
Great coverage. I mean, because that ball it actually was caught. It looked like as if he dropped it on the way down, or the defender got his hand in there. Who was that defending the pass?
Looked like Denzel Arsenault.
Yeah, he did a good job on that play because McBride actually caught that ball, and on the way down it came out.
McBride had a big game against Sulphur where he only had 3 carries, but 122 yards on the night.
This is a big play right here for Destrehan.
3rd down and 12. 4 wide receivers in this set. Torrance Mosley at a running back. Here comes the blitz. They try to set up the screen, and Nickens gets away from it. Now this is where he is very dangerous, Sting, and Destrehan was able to bring him down, but that was a little scary here for Destrehan to see that guy coming with a head of steam. Joe Sharp, one of the men there to finally bring him down. And finally, Destrehan's defense stops Dutchtown.
This is just what type of athlete he is right here. Right now it looks like as if he's already sacked, but he's able to get up out of that and then make something happen with his feet. It looks like he was going to get the first down and more, but Destrehan was ready for him. They know that was a big down for him, and they're going for it right here on 4th down.
Rondé Robinson actually one of the defenders there for Destrehan. So this is 4th down and 7. Might as well go for it. Now Nickens is going to call timeout. We'll take a quick break here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Well, you can't dampen their spirit. That's the Dutchtown Griffins cheerleaders braving the elements here tonight. Unfortunately, a rainy night here at Dutchtown High School. Griffins are going to punt the football. This is Tyler Sarazan. He's averaging 44 yards a punt. High snap, just gets it down and just got rid of it. And then Alfred Smith will take it at the 7-yard line. Smith still on his feet to the 23-yard line where he's brought down. Less than a minute to go. We'll see what Coach Stephen Robichaux decides to do here. Do you maybe take a couple chances?
You know, I thought he was going to fair catch this because he was inside his 10-yard line, but he was able to make something happen with his speed. He was able to get to the outside, and he got a couple of blocks here and there, but not a whole lot, but he made a lot happen by himself.
Brought down on the play by John Gallman, a junior offensive lineman. 1st and 10, Isom. Quick swing pass. This is Matthews. Matthews, who's had a big first half, is going to stay on his feet to the 30-yard line, and then he's finally hit hard on the play by Yamari Velez. He needed to get out of bounds, though, Sting.
No, they should call timeout right here.
And looks like Destrehan does call timeout. We'll take it with them. 44 seconds left to go before halftime. 14-point lead for the Griffins. Drives place right now in Ascension Parish is underneath that Cox 10. As you're watching the Cox 4 Game of the Week, 21-7 is our score. 46 seconds left to go before halftime. Destrehan trying to get some points on the board here. They got a long way to go. They got it at their own 30-yard line. 2nd down and 3. Play action fake. Quick pass out to the far side, and it is caught over there. I believe that's Mike Smith making some running up the far sidelines. Up to the 36-yard line is where he's knocked out with 37 seconds left to go before halftime. I still don't think Isom has thrown an incomplete pass in this game.
That was a long throw, but he got it there quick. I mean, it's a long throw out there, and I mean, that just shows his arm strength right there.
Actually, Isom is 13 of 14. He snuck one in there on me as far as incomplete pass, but can't get any better than that. Now he rolls out to the near side. He's got a man who beats his defenders, and there he goes, Mike Smith, all the way down to the 29-yard line as he got behind Yamari Velez, and now Destrehan is in business. Clock stops at 31 seconds.
This is another great play right here. It looked like they flooded the zone. They actually sent 3 guys into the zone while Destrehan was playing like a cover 2. A cover 2 where the other guy got behind him and up the sideline, and that was a big play. Should have got out of bounds, though. Saved timeout.
Clock now rolling, and Isom downs it. 29 seconds left to go. He's got some weapons. Mike Smith, the junior, 5'8", 150 pounds. He's made some plays. We've called Will Matthews' name quite a bit. He's a sophomore, and Coach Stephen Robichaux is really excited about this sophomore class that Destrehan has. Says they are a special group. And he would know. He's won a couple state championships. So now it's second down. Play action fake. Isom's got all day. Will drift out of the pocket. Now he'll just take off with it, and he gets up to the 25-yard line. They need to call another timeout, and we'll take it with them. 19 seconds left to go before halftime. Destrehan, can it get on the board before halftime on the Cox Ford Game of the Week? The rain has been falling pretty much since the start of the football game. We stayed dry during the Farm Bureau pregame show, but it has been a...
We're dry now.
And we're dry in the press box, which unfortunately for Brandon Rizzuto and Haley Asaro, they have to hang out underneath the Cox tent. Isom feels the pressure, gets rid of it at the last second, and that pass is complete to Ricky Jefferson, who runs out of bounds.
Oh, if he looks to his right, it's touchdown. It looked like they ran almost the same combination that they ran on the big play, but they just ran it out of a tight V formation. He had a guy wide open. It looked like as if it was Smith. But, you know, he still took the guy that he's probably most comfortable with catching the pass on the crossing route, which was Jefferson. Jefferson does the right thing by getting out of bounds.
Destrehan in the Don Bone Buick red zone, and the pass is caught. Alfred Smith makes one guy miss, brought down immediately at the 7-yard line, and Destrehan uses its final timeout. 5 seconds left to go. We'll take another break here on the Cox Ford Game of the Week. Five seconds left to go before halftime, and Destrehan is going to try a field goal here with Cameron Walsh. It'll be about a 23-yard field goal. Mike Smith will handle the hole. And that is a strong kick, and it is no good, though. He missed it.
Wow.
So a nice drive by Destrehan, unfortunately. Unable to get any points on the board, but Wildcats offense, they did a nice job on the 2-minute offense there to get it down there and have an opportunity to kick a field goal. We'll take a break. 21-7, and when we come back, it's the Livingston Parish Economic Development Council halftime show on the Cox Ford Game of the Week. The Livingston Parish Economic Development Council halftime show is underway here on the Cox Ford Game of the Week with Dutchtown leading Destrehan 21-7. Don't forget, Livingston Parish is the place to be, and let's send it down to the field and Brandon Rizzuto. Brandon?
Thank you, guys. I'm standing next to David Searles from Crown Trophy. David, you've been a part of Cox 4 Game of the Week for a long time. Tell us about your partnership.
It's nice to be here tonight, Brandon. Nice to meet you. We've been with Cox 4 for 9 years, and we've been doing this Teacher and Scholar of the Week for those 9 years, and we've had some awesome teachers and scholars through the years, and look forward to doing another 9 years.
Tell us some of the things that Crown Trophy specializes in. You guys do a lot more than trophies.
Yeah, we do corporate awards, we do promotional items, we do crystal, glass, we do schools, we do the educational awards, the sports awards. We also do the little kids from 4-year-old soccer up through 91-year-old birthday parties.
Tell us about your locations.
We're located at 5140 South Sherwood Forest Boulevard, and we service Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Hammond, and all of the areas in between. And we're also located on the web at crowntrophy.com, and you can go online and get the and order your stuff and put it on, send it to us on an email, and we'll be happy to help you out and take care of it.
Absolutely. David, thank you so much for all you do. I know these scholars that are going to be awarded here tonight definitely appreciate it as well. Thanks for your partnership.
Thank you, Brandon. It's a pleasure to be here tonight.
Guys, we're going to send it back up to the booth. Jeff, Derek, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Brandon. 21-7 is our score. Dutchtown leading Destrehan. As the rain continues to fall here at Dutchtown High School, now let's send it back to the field, and Haley Asaro is standing by. Haley?
Thanks, guys. We're down here with the Teachers of the Week, and from Destrehan High School, we have Principal Stephen Weber. Stephen, tell us about your Teacher of the Week, Miss Luquette, and how deserving she is of this award.
Well, Corey's very well deserving. She does just about everything at Destrehan High School besides being a phenomenal classroom teacher. She sponsors our student council. She runs our pep rallies. She takes care of our homecoming week. In fact, I've heard rumors that she even runs the buses.
Now, Ms. Luquette, in my opinion, teaching is one of the most challenging careers out there. What parts are so challenging in your opinion?
For me, I would say leaving work at work. I find that it's difficult for me to walk away at 2:20, even though the bell rings then. I pretty much, like Mr. Weber, live there.
Well, thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Now we're going to come over to the Teacher of the Week from Dutchtown, Miss Jennifer Lofton. Miss Lofton, even though teaching is a very difficult and challenging career, what are some of the more rewarding parts?
That moment when you know that you've truly pushed the kids past their own expectations, their own limits, what they thought they could accomplish, and then they do, and they accomplish it, and they realize that they can do more than they ever dreamed that they could do, because our jobs as teachers is to prepare them for a future that we don't even know exists yet. So it's knowing that those kids are leaving me, knowing that they can do that. They can face anything that our world would give them.
Well, thank you so much and congratulations. Guys, let's send it back up to the booth.
Thanks, Haley. 21-7 is our score. Dutchtown leading Destrehan. More of the Livingston Parish Economic Development Council halftime show when we come back on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. (21-7) is our score. Dutchtown leading Destrehan on the Livingston Parish Economic Development Council halftime show. Let's continue on and find out who our Scholars of the Week. For that, we send it back to Haley Asaro.
Thanks, guys. We're down here with the Scholars of the Week. And first, we're going to talk to our scholar from Destrehan, Dylan Hudson. Dylan, first off, congratulations. This is a great honor to have.
Thank you.
Now, tell us a little bit what you're involved with at Destrehan.
Okay, so at Destrehan, I'm in the AP classes, honors classes, NHS, DHS, Mu Alpha Theta, Quiz Bowl, and I film with the TV productions.
That's pretty impressive. Now, your dad is actually a coach for the Oakland Raiders. Being in the public eye, how does that make you want to be a better student and work harder?
Well, definitely it makes me want to be able to represent my father and his team and everyone. And if they have to look at me, I want to be able to present a good image. And it also just makes me a better student because I have to live up to its public image.
All right, well, thank you so much and congratulations. Now we're going to come over to Ashley Alexander from Dutchtown. First off, congratulations, great honor. Tell us a little bit about what you're involved with at Dutchtown.
I run cross country, I play soccer, I'm a member of Beta Club, and I'm president of National Honor Society.
Now, this is a pretty high honor, so what is your advice to others who want to receive this honor? What would you tell them?
I think it's really about just pursuing excellence in school as well as being able to manage your time well and just be able to enjoy all that high school has to offer.
Well, thank you so much, and again, congratulations to the both of you. Guys, let's send it back to you.
And thanks a lot, Haley. And once again, we want to thank Crown Trophy and ITI Technical College for sponsoring our Teachers and Scholar of the Week segment of the Livingston Parish Economic Development Council halftime show. Rain still falling here at Dutchtown High School, 21-7. Fans are trying to stay dry. We'll take a break. We'll talk a little bit more about what happened in that first half and look ahead to the next 24 minutes of this pivotal game at Dutchtown High School. The Livingston Parish Economic Development Council halftime show continues from Dutchtown High School, where the Griffins leading the Wildcats 21-7. The winner of this one will improve to 3-1 on the season, and then it's district play from here on out for these two schools. Let's go back down to the field, and Haley Asaro will tell us a little bit about football, food, and families.
All right, thanks, guys. Football, Food, and Families is a very special partnership between the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, the Second Harvest Food Bank, and Domino's, and, of course, the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Now, this week, Dutchtown has participated in our campaign, and they raised 288 pounds of non-perishable food items, which equals 240 meals. So we want to congratulate them on that accomplishment. And also, another way you can participate in fighting hunger is to attend the Harvest the Music Festival. This is an event put on by the Second Harvest Food Bank, and it runs October 24th through October 24th, and it's every Wednesday in Lafayette Square from 5 to 7:30. It's live music, great food. Bring your pets, bring your chairs, bring your kids. It's going to be a good time. Be sure to go out and help feed Southern Louisiana. Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Haley. 21-7 is our score as these brave fans deal with the elements here tonight. It's not supposed to rain on Friday nights, right, Sting?
We are in South Louisiana, so expect the unexpected.
I know it's supposed to be a very wet weekend here across South Louisiana. Hopefully it'll be dry at least by the time LSU and UL kick off tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Interesting first half here, Sting. Told you, obviously, the score tells you one thing. Dutchtown winning it 21-7, but total yards, Destrehan actually has more total yards than Dutchtown, 236 to 214. As you take a look at Donovan Isom, who has been leading this Wildcats offense.
Yeah, he's a nice-looking player. I mean, he's really built. I mean, he's tough to bring down. I mean, he does a good job with the ball. He understands his offense that he's in. I mean, you can tell he's the team leader, and as of right now, he's their biggest playmaker. I know Jefferson is one of their guys, but right now it's all because of him to where they have 7 points right now.
Very impressive first half by Isom. That was a 15-yard touchdown run. He rushed for 36 yards. He was 16 of 18 for 144 yards, the long one there of 34 yards. And his favorite receiver, at least for tonight, Michael Smith, 5 catches, 51 yards. Ricky Jefferson had a good first half, 4 catches, 26 yards, and Will Matthews had 4 catches for 40 yards, and Matthews also rushed for 40 yards, so 80 yards in total plays. When you take a look at what Dutchtown has done, Mason Nickens, the man right here, 4 of 6 through the air, but it's been what he's done on the ground, Sting, that has been more impressive.
I'll tell you one thing about Dutchtown that I'm impressed with right now is the fact that they're basically out physicaling Destrehan right now. I mean, they're laying the load to them. They're not running around guys. They're trying to run through guys. So they're setting the tone immediately with the way they play on offense.
That was a 33-yard touchdown run by Nickens. He had 2 in that first half, and that's the difference. Dutchtown leading Destrehan 21-7. That wraps it up for the Livingston Parish Economic Development Council halftime show. Second half action from Dutchtown High when we come back on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Classic High School Football. Dutchtown at Destrehan played in 2010, and it was pretty clear right from the get-go that Dutchtown was the better team in this one. After winning back-to-back state titles in 2007 and 2008, the Wildcats had a dry spell for a few years, but they have rebounded nicely the past 4 seasons, sporting a 49-5 record under head coach Stephen Robichaux. Stay with us. Third quarter is coming up.
Dutchtown warming up for the second half. They lead it 21-7. Mason Nickens, a couple of touchdowns. He also threw for one as he connected with Shelby Christie on a 17-yard touchdown catch. But Nickens, 4 of 6 for 45 yards and a touchdown pass to Shelby Christie to start the scoring in this one. Torrance Mosley is the leading rusher for Dutchtown. Check that, actually, Mason Nickens is 5 carries, 67 yards, but Mosley has 8 carries for 60 yards. And again, the total yards, even though Destrehan is down by a couple of touchdowns, the Wildcats actually outgained the Griffins 236 to 214. First downs are nearly even. Dutchtown 13 first downs to Destrehan's 12. Rushing yards, Dutchtown dominating there thanks to Nickens and Mosley, as the Griffins have 169 rushing yards to Destrehan's 92. But passing yards, Destrehan has the advantage there. 144 passing yards to Dutchtown's 45. And no turnovers in that first half, despite the rain falling for nearly the entire first half. Time of possession, that's nearly even as well. Yeah. Destrehan 12 minutes, 41 seconds to Dutchtown's 11 minutes and 19 seconds.
Even though you say no turnovers, I mean, turnovers on downs, that can almost count as turnovers.
Well, yeah, Destrehan's second drive of the night, they got it into the red zone, and the drive stalled. They went for it on 4th down. Actually, they've had now 2 drives where they've been able to get into the red zone, but have come away with
Nothing.
0 points.
Yeah, like the missed field goal at the end of the half. That was pretty big right there, and you know, those are points that they need desperately. You know, they got to try to turn the scoreboard around this second half in order to get back into this ball game to even keep it close.
Want to thank the statistician up here, Jeff, who's been you've missed what, just 2 games? 2 games during the entire run of Dutchtown football, and there's been some exciting games here. He was telling us earlier about the game when Dutchtown lost 9-7, right?
Yeah.
9-6 back in 2008, Jefferson senior year.
Yeah, and he explained to me what a Griffin is.
That is one of the most asked questions whenever Dutchtown plays an opposing team. They always want to know what a Griffin is. So, Sting?
It's the body of a lion and the head of an eagle.
It's a mythical
character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he also have wings. So where does the wings go? On the body, or is it attached to the head of the eagle?
We'll figure that one out and get back to you in the 4th quarter on that one. But Destrehan will kick it off as Cameron Walsh will handle the kicking. And back to receive for Dutchtown looks to be Torrance Mosley along with Corey McBride. And it goes towards Mosley, but it's in the end zone for a touchback. So we'll now see Dutchtown's offense. Again, Mason Nickens, a very solid first half, 4 of 6 for 45 yards. Coach Saya called him a winner, and why not? I mean, a guy who's won a lot of football games during his time as the starter here for the Dutchtown Griffins. So Coach Saya wanted to see how his team would react after losing. The school losing its first football game during the regular season since 2009. The way they played in that 24 minutes, first 24 minutes, show that they were ready to play here tonight. Handoff up the middle, and there's nothing going there. Malcolm Derensberg shuts it down. A very smart inside linebacker for Destrehan. You know, Coach Saya said after that loss to Zachary, he thought that might be what this team needed. You know, you've always heard good losses. He thought it would make his team be a more blue-collar type squad, and the way they've played so physically here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
They have that blue-collar mentality.
You can get overconfident if you're accustomed to winning just every game. So that was probably a wake-up call for them. And right now, they're, like you say, they are trying to be physical tonight.
Well, around the right end, that's Antoine Margrass, who gets all the way up to the 45, 46-yard line before he's shoved out of bounds. But a big pickup there for the senior.
Yeah, right here, this is just a speed sweep. Took it off to the right side. Dutchtown is doing a good job of locking up on guys. And, I mean, all it takes for him is just to run, and he's a tough runner.
Antoine Margrass, 4 carries for 50 yards now in this football game as Dutchtown continues to pile up the rushing yards. Had a lot of yards last week against Zachary. Really, special teams was the big thing that let them down in that loss against the Broncos. Run up the middle there, and there's a pickup of 5 yards. Their starting center is back tonight. They've ran a lot right up the middle. Brian Hernandez.
Brian Hernandez. You know, I trained him a couple of years ago when I was working at the USSTA. He was a hard worker. We just have to kick him out of the gym at night. He'll be there all day. His his dad was tough on him, but, he enjoyed the workouts, though. We pushed him, and he did everything without complaining at all.
Second down and 5. He's a 6'1", 285-pound senior. And, again, they run right behind Hernandez, and that's Margrass, who's got another Dutchtown first down up to the 36-yard line. And there's just no stopping this Dutchtown running game tonight.
Yeah, they've been getting big yards all night. I mean, they've been running physical up the middle. They've been getting some good speed rushes to the outside. Right there, they're just running guys over. I mean, they're just having their way at times.
Brought down on the play by Corey Carter, Wildcat defender. So Nickens to his left, throws towards the end zone. Wide open is Christie to the 5. Touchdown! Touchdown, Griffins! They pound you with that run sting, and then they go to the air, and they go to a guy that's going to be playing on Saturdays in the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah, you can't forget about him either now. I mean, they ran a simple concept. We call it a smash concept, where you get the corner over the top and the hitch underneath. And it's a simple read for Nickens, but this is the one guy on the field you do not want to leave open. I mean, he's a big play guy. He's going to do what's right with the ball, which is catch it and get into the end zone. Good play by Christie.
Second touchdown catch of the night by Shelby Christie. Second touchdown pass of the night for Nickens. And Dutchtown has its biggest lead of the night, 28-7. More of the Cox 4 game of the week after this. Sarazan's kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. So Destrehan will get the football for the first time in this second half, down by 3 touchdowns. As you look at the Take 5 oil change scoring drive, 5 plays, 80 yards. The TD pass to Shelby Christie. Christie, his 4th catch of the night. There you take a look at the Mississippi State commitment. And 4 catches, 2 touchdowns. Just another day in the office for Shelby Christie. 28-7. Let's see what Donovan Isom can do. Goes to the air, throws over the middle, and off the hands of Ricky Jefferson. Might have been deflected there. I thought Alex Thibodeau may have gotten a hand in there to deflect it away from Jefferson.
I don't know. It looked like he got through cleanly. It's tough to say. I don't know if we have replay on it or not, but that's a play that they need right there.
Only the 3rd incompletion of the night for Isom. And slipping and falling on the play was the running back, and they lose a yard or 2. Getting the carry, that was Talvin Michael. First time we've called his name tonight. Dutchtown's defense has been able to hold this Destrehan team down to just 7 points. 2 drives that it stalled in the red zone for Destrehan. Right now, a huge part of this football game. 3rd down and long. 3rd and about 13. Isom, pressure, throws off the hands of the intended receiver, and that's a 3-and-out as Ricky Jefferson can't make the play again.
That was probably the one time that I seen Dutchtown actually blitz Destrehan. I mean, Isom has been able to run wide to the strong side of the field all night in 3rd down situations. So what Dutchtown did, they actually took that threat away immediately, made him get rid of the ball now. I mean, he's their biggest playmaker right now, so you make him get the ball up and make someone else make a play. That's pretty good play by the defensive coordinator for Dutchtown.
Cameron Walsh will be kicking it off or punting it. Can't handle the snap. Now he finally gets rid of it, and it's a good punt. He's going to chase Mosley back at his own 40-yard line. He's dancing back there. Now tries to turn it upfield, and he is out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Nice return there by Mosley. A nice job by Walsh to punt that football away. The 3rd quarter of the Cox 4 Game of the Week is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force. We do the impossible every day. And by Monogram Express. We make ordinary gifts extraordinary. And by the Dukes of Hazzard Family Reunion and Car Show. This Saturday night from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Henderson Auctions on Highway 190 in Livingston Parish. 1st down and 10 at the 49-yard line, and they hand it off to Mosley. Picks up about 4 or 5. And this is a critical drive here, Sting. If Dutchtown gets into the end zone, I think that's going to be too much of a deficit for Destrehan to come back on.
It might be, but, Destrehan, they need to just bear down right here.
They need a turnover.
Yeah, and we haven't seen any tonight, so they need to try to create one.
I believe they've only stopped Dutchtown once. Wasn't it a 3-and-out? And a lot of time,
yeah.
And I think at least in 2 of those plays, Dutchtown was trying to throw the football.
Yeah, they sure were.
Mosley up the middle, gets hit in the backfield, and I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage. Nice job there by Destrehan's defense. Rayjon Marbley, who's got some excellent speed, had 4 sacks in that game against West Jefferson, number 56, in on that stop. 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up here with the Griffins up by 3 touchdowns. 2 running backs in the backfield, Brown and Mosley. Here comes the blitz. Nickens to the air. Pass caught by Christie. First down to the 36-yard line.
Tell you what, when you need a big play, especially trying to throw the ball, that's the guy you want to throw to. I mean, he's doing a good job of reading the zone and sitting where he needs to sit. He didn't have to carry himself all the way to the safety. It was a nice little slant. Nickens took 3 steps, threw the ball right there. He knew the safety was coming in. That's why he was trying to protect himself. But that's a smart play by Christie right there, not to continue his route all the way into the safety and sit in that zone.
Brandon Scott on the stop. Shelby Christie came into this game with 9 catches. He's got 5 tonight. Back to the air again. Pump fakes. Nickens down the field to Christie, and good coverage that time on the sidelines there.
Yeah, they tried to run a double move. It looked like it was an out and go. I don't know if Christie really came out of that break as fast as he should have. Looked like he's coming off. He may be either winded or tired because with a little more effort, he probably would have caught that pass, but no telling. I think he's winded.
Raekwon Morgan, just a sophomore, was defending Christie on that play, and he was step for step with Christie. 2nd down and 10. Screen pass off the hands, and now is this a backwards lateral? And if it is, Destrehan's got the football. Let's wait and see here. And it is Wildcats football, and that's the turnover that they needed. Nickens is out there saying, that was a forward pass.
You know what? I really can't say. I mean, let's take a look at it right here. I mean, let's see where his shoulders was turned. Oh, it's a backwards pass. He threw it behind him. He threw it behind the line of scrimmage, and he threw it backwards towards him. So that is Destrehan's football.
Off the helmet of Corey McBride, a loose football there. And then soon as that Destrehan defender slides and grabs that football, he's down right there, and that's Corian Reynaud. And a pass, Isom in the air, and that is incomplete to his top wide receiver, Alfred Smith, along with Ricky Jefferson. And there is our first turnover of the night, and there is still a heartbeat here for Destrehan and an opportunity to possibly get back into this football game. 2nd down and 10. At the 49-yard line. Isom keeps it himself. He's got the first down and much more. To the 30, 25, 20, to the 10. Can he stay in bounds? No, he's shoved out of bounds there at the last second by Dutchtown's Justin Sampson. But another big play by Donovan Isom.
Isom is doing everything he can to keep his team in the ball game right here. I mean, this is a big run by a big kid. I mean, they do a little misdirection with the read right there, and he just takes it right up the middle. I mean, he's a big guy, so they're kind of thinking twice about tackling him. But right there, I thought that maybe he would get into the end zone, but he didn't have enough gas in him left to get it to a touchdown.
Only a junior, so for any college scouts out there interested in Donovan Isom, better need to talk to him quickly because he's about ready to get in the end zone again. Touchdown. Wildcats get a big touchdown there, and they execute and convert after the turnover.
Yep.
And they're in striking distance
again. They got the stop they needed, and they scored quick off of it. So they got a little thing called momentum that's going their way right now. Once again, why not give it to him? Why not make him run up the middle? I mean, he only had 2 yards. He can fall forward for at least one. I mean, as big as he is. That's a good drive by Destrehan.
I saw the left tackle on that play, Nolan Sharp. He pulled and really sealed that hole for Isom to run through. And Cameron Walsh now will try the extra point. Oh, had handle on this, trouble on the snap, and it's good though. 6:52 left to go in the third quarter. Don't go away. Destrehan still in this game on the Cox 4 game of the week. Again, there's the Cox tent, keeping folks dry down there on the field. You see Brandon Rizzuto's over there. I'm sure Haley Asaro is doing a great job there on the sidelines for us. Good football game as you take a look at the Take 5 oil change scoring drive. 3 plays, 54 yards. Next week, our Baton Rouge television audience will see a great Livingston Parish rivalry game as we'll have the Walker Wildcats, who are visiting the 3-1 Live Oak Eagles in a District 4 5A matchup. So join us for the Farm Bureau pregame show at 6:30. And for our television audience in New Orleans, we'll have the same Destrehan Wildcats as they'll open up 8 5A district play against the Higgins Hurricanes. And don't forget our replays of this game and all our games throughout the high school football season are on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and also Sunday nights as well. And we'll also have our second of 3 UL football games coming up a week from Saturday when the Cajuns take on the Tulane Green Wave. And that will be at 4 o'clock a week from Saturday from Cajun Field. Cameron Walsh to kick it away. And that is deep, and it is taken by Mosley. Mosley gets across the 20 and to the 23. That's about it. Good job on the coverage team there by the Wildcats, led by Kenny King.
It looks like Dutchtown's special teams unit is setting up a little too deep. They're not getting Mosley an opportunity to get a full speed to run with the ball. He has to set up the blocking and stop his feet, and that's exactly what Destrehan wants him to do, stop his feet and be able to make the tackle.
1st and 10 at the 23 for Mason Nickens and company. They run that zone read offense. They've ran it quite well. Run up the middle, Austin Brown. That's
maybe
I don't even think he got to the line of scrimmage. It's Destrehan shut it down pretty quickly.
Destrehan's playing with a little momentum right now. They're fired up. Now the defense is playing a little harder.
David Sampson in on the stop there. Brings up 2nd down and 8. Do you just sell out to the run here? I mean, I know that's difficult when Nickens is such a precise thrower.
You can't, especially with Christie out there. I mean, you still have to play him. And they're actually playing a man-to-man right now.
They roll out towards Christie's side. Here comes the pressure, and Nickens gets hit after a pickup of 2. Nice job defensively that time. That was Rajon Marbley.
Tell you what, Robinson, safety, was locked up with Christie, and he did a good job of covering him. And that's what Nickens wanted to throw, but he couldn't find him. He had to eat the ball and take that hit. Right there, he's looking at Christie the whole way, but Christie is actually covered. And he took a shot right there.
Big play here. 3rd down, Dutchtown. Up by 14, but the momentum right now is in the favor of Destrehan. And then there is a penalty, and that will kill any kind of momentum, because I think that is going to be an encroachment call on Destrehan. The Destrehan coaches are in the booth next to us, and they are not happy, Sting.
Yeah, you can hear them banging on the walls. I'll be upset, too. I mean, that's a self-inflicted penalty.
Dead ball foul, encroachment against White.
You know, in our game last week, Sting, we were over, of course, in the Lafayette area. We had Lafayette and Carencro there. You take a look at the Destrehan coaches.
Yeah.
But we saw that quite a bit last week when Lafayette had a lot of those penalties when they were trying to get back into the football game. 3rd down and 2. 8 men in the box defensively here for Destrehan. Nickens keeps it himself, runs hard. He's got the 1st down as he bounces off tacklers. Make sure he holds on to that football, and a big 1st down for the Griffins, aided by that 5-yard penalty against Destrehan.
Yeah, that could have been disaster right there. That was a high snap, and Nickens did a good job of snagging it out of the air and able to get the 1st down. So he's doing a good job of leading his team and controlling the ball and doing the right thing with the ball to keep these chains moving.
A moment ago, you saw Coach Stephen Robichaux, who led the Wildcats to back-to-back 5A state championships in 2007 and 2008. Here's another run right up the middle to Austin Brown to the 42-yard line to pick up a 4. But this was an impressive statistic that I saw as far as Coach Robichaux goes. He's won 4 district championships. This is his 11th season as a head coach as you look at him there on the screen. But in his first run at Destrehan, all 10 of his teams reached the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. I faced them one year. I was coaching with Tara, and they came down here, and they were like 5 wides. And, I mean, it looked like a video game out there. I was like, my goodness, this high school college team we're playing against. So,
2nd down and 6. Brown getting to run on the counter, and defensively, Joe Sharp on the play sets up another 3rd down as we get close to the 4-minute mark of this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's not in Destrehan's favor is the clock right now. Dutchtown's doing a good job of eating up some of the time. I mean, they're doing the right thing. That's what they're supposed to do. Take their time, get to the line of scrimmage, run the ball, keep the clock moving. You know, Destrehan needs to make a play right here. You know, they have to be smart and not jump off sides. But once again, they got man-to-man right down here with Christie. His one-on-one coverage. He's by himself.
4 wide receivers, Christie on the near side. Nicken surveys the defense on this 3rd down and 6. Here comes the pressure again. The pass, and it is dropped immediately there by McBride. Loose football. Is that Destrehan's ball?
No, it's incomplete.
Oh, they're saying it's incomplete. So that's McBride was the one that couldn't hang on to the swing pass last time, and he got hit immediately, and he is limping back towards the Dutchtown sidelines, and the momentum has definitely swung in this football game.
Yeah, they had a lot of success with this play right here. I mean, it's a nice little swing play, but Destrehan has seen it all night. You know, they're doing a good job of now defending what they're comfortable with seeing in front of them, and they're attacking downhill, and they're going after the players right now.
David Sampson made the hit immediately on that play. They got to get a dry football out there as they'll be punting the football back over to Destrehan. And now what do we have? Well, they didn't have it at the line of scrimmage properly, so now they have it marked down. This is where Tyler Sarazan, who is such a weapon for this Dutchtown team, he needs to get off a good one. Line drive punt, and it is muffed there by Alfred Smith, and then Smith shakes off one tackler and then is brought down at the 17-yard line. It's now time for the Donaldsonville Glass and Collisions Hits of the Week. Take it away. (28-14). Destrehan is down, but the momentum is in their favor. They have it 1st and 10 at their 30-yard line as they just completed another pass to Ricky Jefferson. Under 3 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. They go on the ground here on this play, and the carries by Talvin Michael, who gets about 5 yards to the 35-yard line. And the Dutchtown fans here on this side, you can sense there's a little bit of tension now. They thought maybe this was going to be a nice little win number 3 on the season, but Destrehan has come out and played some good football in the second half.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this is what Coach Robichaux was hoping to start the football game. They didn't play with this intensity to begin with. 2nd and 5. Isom to his left. Throws, and the pass short hops the intended receiver, which was Mike Smith.
Yeah, he had another receiver streaking up the line on the sideline. If he just takes a look deep, that's 6 points. They need to score quick, fast, in a hurry. I mean, it's okay to move the chains and take these chunks of yards, but they're behind 2 scores. And yeah, the defense did a good job of stepping up and stopping Dutchtown, but still, Dutchtown is a tough team to stop. You got to score quick when you have the ball.
The rain is let up here at Dutchtown High. Isom over the middle of the field, and he missed Ricky Jefferson.
He threw it behind him.
I tell you what, Isom was so accurate in that first half, and I don't know, maybe getting a little bit too excited here.
Yeah, well, I mean, and he's doing a lot. He's running the ball. I mean, he had a big run the last series, so maybe he's just a little tired.
Well, Isom will get a breather, and there you see, I believe that might be the quarterback coach, Daniel Luquette.
Yeah,
or the offensive coordinator, Greg Boyne.
He's probably telling him just relax. You know, take what the defense gives you. I mean, he had an open guy that he missed. He threw it behind him, and you need those type plays. I know he's just a junior, but at the same time, he's the leader of this team, and they're expecting for him to come up big.
Cameron Walsh to punt it away. decent punt line drive, and he punted it away from Torrance Mosley, who just has to let that roll. And it's down at the 27-yard line. Let's send it down to the field, and Brandon Rizzuto. Brandon?
Jeff and Derek, thank you. I have a group of men down here, young men, I should say, that aren't ashamed to wear short shorts. They're going to tell us a little about it. Tell me your name and why you guys dress up like this.
Colin Malone. And, well, last year they had a group of guys that were seniors, and they were called the Big Brothers, and they ran the flags. You know, they helped out with the cheerleaders. And this year we thought we'd take it to a new level, you know. Just thought of some good ideas. And this guy came up with the shorts I did. We call them jorts, jean shorts. And, you know, they become a big hit. A lot of the other teams like it.
Follow us on Twitter.
So, yeah.
Okay, so Twitter. We'll talk about Twitter in a second. You tell us about these jorts. Why the jorts? What was the decision behind that?
We really needed to make a statement and show that we're for real as a student body. So I thought the jorts would be like a good opportunity to show our spirit, that we're not afraid to show off these beautiful legs for our team. We just like to support them, run the flags, get in shape, get the other cheerleaders, you know, just doing our jobs.
This guy's talking about his legs. Look at these guys' legs. They're not scared to show them. Short shorts. Boy, I tell you what, they're partying here in Dutchtown. Guys, back to you up top.
We got to get that Twitter feed there, Brandon. That might be one that you need to follow. You can follow us on Twitter at Cox4LA, but the
jorts? No.
You gonna wear the jorts next
well,
week when we're up in
I mean, you have a pair up here. Are you going to put them on or not? Oh, my
I saw
goodness.
those guys, of course, because of the wet field conditions, they didn't have the marching band out there, so those guys were...
They were doing a halftime football game or something.
Let's take a quick break. 1:28 left to go in the third quarter here on the Cox Sport Game of the Week. And Dutchtown runs it right up the middle to pick up the first down to the 47-yard line. Jeff Palermo, Derek Stingley, Haley Asario, and Brandon Rizzuto. The Italians are outnumbering
I know,
Stingley
yeah,
tonight.
I'm out. I'm out.
First down and 10 at the 47. It's like a mob squad.
Yeah.
Up here.
I feel well protected, though.
Dutchtown has it at their own 47. Nickens, the quarterback. Margrass back in there as the running back. And he picks his way for about 3 yards to the 50-yard line. Less than a minute to go in this third quarter. Both teams have scored a touchdown, but Destrehan has a bit of the momentum here. But Dutchtown trying to put together a drive to get that 3-touchdown lead back up.
Yeah.
Second down and probably about 7. As Dutchtown taking their time. This could be our final play of the third quarter. Nickens rolling out. Wanted to go deep. Now checks off, and he's got his man, and that's complete. Out of bounds at the 34-yard line. And that was caught by Markelius Holden, his third catch of the season. Comes at a good time. Gives the Griffins a first down.
It's a great throw by Nickens. I mean, he was actually falling back, and he threw off his back foot and still completed that pass. Great throw.
Looks like the rain has stopped now here at Dutchtown High. Rain for nearly the entire first half and a good portion of the third quarter. Now this will be our final play of the third quarter. Is Dutchtown driving the football at the Destrehan 32. Nickens keeps it himself, bounces off a couple of tacklers, and a nice pickup there of about 5 yards to the 28-yard line. That does it for our third quarter. Destrehan trailing by a couple of touchdowns here from Dutchtown High School. It is 28-14. Our fourth quarter when we come back on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Another run there for Dutchtown gives them a first down as they move it to the 24-yard line. The Griffins up by 2 touchdowns. Again, the winner of this game improves to 3-1. Dutchtown trying to remain in the top 10 in Class 5A. They are currently ranked 7th by the Louisiana Sports Writers Association. They run the Wildcat here, and this is McBride to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown, Corey McBride. He shows off that track speed there. They've tried to throw the football to him a few times.
Yeah.
That time they handed him the football, and he goes 22 yards into the end zone.
I was going to say that's the way to make up for a couple of drop passes and some fumbles, but he has the speed. You can see it. I mean, once he hit that edge, he was gone. I mean, and then he kind of darted in and went back out, and they couldn't match that speed.
Sarazan on the extra point try to give Dutchtown that 21-point lead that they enjoyed for a good part of the third quarter, and it is through the uprights. So Corey McBride gets into the end zone for the Griffins. Last year, he helped Dutchtown win the state championship in track and field. A future star for this team. He had that big game against Sulphur where he had 122 yards rushing on 3 carries. And there he gets into the end zone, and the Griffins now lead it 35-14. After this game, Dutchtown begins district play as they'll host Sanoma, and then they'll take on East Ascension. And then they will travel over to Woodlawn. And then they finish up the regular season by hosting McKinley and then taking on the Catholic Bears. Catholic and Parkview Baptist were in a instant classic last night, and the Eagles, ranked number 1 in 3A, held off the Catholic Bears in that game. For Destrehan, they'll have Higgins, John Eric coming up. Then a trip to East St. John and Bonneville, and they finish off the regular season by playing their big rival, Hahnville. So Tyler Sarazan will kick it off again here, Sting.
Yeah, the Destrehan right here, they need to start scoring points in a hurry right now.
It'll take a huge comeback to get back in this game. And that is through the end zone for a touchback. Let's now hear from an interview that we did earlier tonight with Supreme Court Justice candidate Jeff Hughes.
Here with Judge Jeff Hughes, a candidate for the Louisiana Supreme Court. Judge, who can vote in this election?
Well, the election is on November the 6th in all of Ascension Parish, also Iberville, West Baton Rouge, Point Capee, East and West Feliciana, Livingston, and East Baton Rouge.
Now let's talk about why this election is so important.
The Louisiana Supreme Court handles the most important cases for the entire state. Give an example, on the Court of Appeal where I'm now a judge, I handled the case that approved Cabela's, approved that taxing district for the first time. I also wrote the first appellate decision which affirmed the conviction of Derek Todd Lee. So you can see these are very important cases.
Now, in addition to being on the law review at LSU, you were an athlete. So what do you think about tonight's game?
Well, in high school anyway, but I got to go at Dutchtown. Destrehan knocked us out of the playoffs back in 1970, so it's Dutchtown all the way for me.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Guys, back up to you.
And good luck to Supreme Court Justice Jeff Hughes. And don't forget, the last day to register to vote, if you haven't done so just yet, is October the 9th. We have an injured Destrehan player, so let's take a break. With 11-12 left to go in this game, a 3-touchdown lead for the Griffins. (35-14). Dutchtown leading Destrehan. Just over 11 minutes left to go here on this night. Now that the rain has stopped, Sting, it's a bit humid out there, but a nice night for football.
Yeah, you see a lot of people using their fans trying to keep cool. That weather is strange out there.
And again, next week, the Cox Ford Game of the Week will once again have split markets. Baton Rouge area will be back in Livingston Parish. Had a great game last week where Denham Springs fell to Rummel. But next week, Walker taking on the Live Oak Eagles. That is a District 4 5A matchup. Tut Mushmek, the head football coach in year number 1 at Live Oaks, got the Eagles at 3-1 on the year. So look forward to seeing that. We got Live Oak twice during this season. Getting the carry there was Will Matthews, and he gets enough for a first down. After 3 quarters, total yards, Dutchtown had 356. Destrehan had 303. And then on the ground, Dutchtown has outrushed Destrehan 249 to 157. And then passing, Destrehan has the edge there, 157 to 109. A flag flies before the snap. Donovan Isom is 17 of 24 for 157 yards. Ricky Jefferson, 5 catches, 39 yards. Michael Smith, 5 catches, 51 yards. Mason Nickens, 7 of 11 for 109 yards and a couple of scores. Both of those touchdown passes to Shelby Christie, who has 5 catches for 85 yards. And Torrance Mosley, 11 rushes for 73 yards. First down and 5 after the 5-yard penalty on Dutchtown. Run up the middle and a big hit there at the line of scrimmage. Pickup of about a yard as the carry was by Will Matthews. But I think it was David Elias, or it might have been Kenyon Edwards who made the hit there.
Oh, okay, yeah. But what I was going to say is I guess Destrehan is just going to stay with their offense, even though, it's a lot of reading with the run. But right now they need to air it out.
There they go. They throw it over the middle, and it's complete, and it's going to be a big play. And that is going to be Alfred Smith bringing it all the way up to about the 36-yard line. A big pickup there.
They need more of that because they have the quarterback for it. They have the receivers for it, and they're capable of doing it. Right now, they're too far behind to be trying to run the ball for 4 or 5 yards here and there. They need to put the ball in the air, whether it's a big play or not. They need to put it in the air and get on the scoreboard quick.
Isom keeps it himself around the right end. And he gets all the way up to the 26-yard line, very close to a first down. Isom in that, or through 3 quarters anyways. 88 yards rushing, so it looks like he'll surpass the 100-yard mark, both rushing and passing here tonight.
Yeah, he's been their offense the whole night. I mean, naturally most quarterbacks are, but if he's going to go over 100 yards rushing and well over 100 yards passing, he's just total offense for this team.
Isom over the middle, and the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, just a little too low. I mean, right read. If he just puts it on him, that can be a touchdown right there as well. I mean, the one thing I have to say about Isom is that every now and then he doesn't step and throw. He believes in his arm strength a little bit, and it looks like at times he's pulling the string on the ball. They have a flag out there for some reason. Someone must have said something to the official.
Damian Armstrong was the intended receiver on that last play. As you look at the Destrehan sidelines, they want some answers as well. It looks like it's going to be on Dutchtown, huh?
Yeah, it was a late flag. It just came out of nowhere.
An unsportsmanlike penalty going to be, well, looks like it's going to be on both. So, offsetting penalties there. So that should be offsetting, and it should remain second out.
Yeah, but I'm not understanding why the officials are still huddled up.
Well, checking some things before they resume play. I told the listener or the viewers out there where our game was next week for the Baton Rouge area, but for New Orleans, we'll get to see Destrehan go up against the Higgins Hurricanes, as that will be the first game in District 8-5A play. And again, our coverage begins with the Farm Bureau pregame show at 6:30. And you can catch the replays on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and Sunday night on Cox 4. Second down and 10, under 9 minutes to go. Isom, looks like they run a little option here. Matthews runs hard and gets a couple yards up to about the 24-yard line.
And the clock is still running. That's something different. They hadn't ran that play all night. Maybe they was probably trying to surprise Dutchtown with that to try to get a score. But, Dutchtown is playing the zone, so they're kind of looking in at everything. The DBs or the linebackers are not turning their backs. They still have vision on the quarterback because of the zones that they're playing right now.
Isom to his left. Under pressure, steps up. Now he'll just take off with it. Gets inside the 15 and dives ahead up to the 11-yard line, as he was finally chased down on the play by Alex Thibodeau.
Same thing on the last time they were faced with 3rd and long, where Dutchtown came with the blitz. They blitzed him again, and once again it made Isom have to make a decision with the ball, but that time he did the right thing because he's been getting big yards all night with running the ball. He just pump fake and got himself some big yards.
Destrehan in the Don Bone Buick red zone, and a good hard run there by Lou Donovan Wells. First time we've mentioned his name tonight, the senior. Picks up about 4 or 5 up to the 5.
He's been out there. He's made a couple of plays tonight. Just that's probably his biggest play tonight.
Yeah.
So.
He was the leading rusher last week in the win over West Jeff. Matthews back in the backfield with Isom. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Isom rolls out in that direction. It looks like he's just going to keep him himself, and he's into the end zone for another Wildcats touchdown. Isom does it again, getting into the end zone. And for him, that is his 3rd touchdown of the night, all of them rushing. He's over the 100-yard mark, running the football. It's been a good night for the junior.
Yeah, well, once again, I mean, he's a load. He's a big guy, and he has a head of steam, and he wasn't going to be denied right there. And he can run. You can see the fast twitch fibers in him. His footwork, he was moving.
Well, Coach Robichaux says he's deceivingly fast.
Yeah.
When you're 6'4", 230 pounds, as he's trying to get some air right now. When you're 6'4", 230 pounds, sometimes you don't think that guy's going to be that fast, and then until you see him running right at you.
He's moving.
The extra point is good. 7:35 left to go. Destrehan not out of this one just yet, as they are down by a couple of touchdowns. And it's now time to take a look at our U.S. Air Force airing it out play of the game. And let's see what our great staff in the truck, what they have decided as far as our U.S. Air Force airing it out play of the game.
There's a couple of ones they can go with. I'm anxious to see.
Well, this is Mason Nickens to Shelby Christie earlier in this half.
Yeah, this was their first possession coming out of the halftime. And like I said, they ran a combination route called smash, where you get the outside receiver ran a hitch. Christie ran a corner route. He was left wide open. It's a good play combination. Great read by Nickens. Even better catch and run by Christie.
Christie, 2 touchdown catches on the night. Nickens has a couple of touchdown throws, a couple of touchdown runs. So 2 great quarterbacks going at it in this football game, and that's why we have as many points as we do. But Dutchtown right now the better team, up by 14. You know, Destrehan is still trying to develop that program again to where it was when it won back-to-back state titles in 2007, 2008. They knocked off a top 10 team last week in the West Jeff. Difficult to ask them to try to repeat that performance, have things go their way, and beat a quality team like Dutchtown.
You know what? Even though I look down at the sideline and I see all these kids that they have on the team, so you can tell the community is very involved in this football program. I mean, you got these kids coming up from, you know, middle school to 9th grade, 10th grade, and all they're doing is just pushing them on through. They're learning the system. They're learning what's going on, and once this guy's out, this guy steps up, and they have a lot of kids down there that's able to step up.
Mosley from inside his 5 brings it up to the 25, and Dutchtown will take over from there. So Destrehan, they forced 1 turnover in this game as Mosley limps back to the sidelines. They need to force another one here and see if they can't score another touchdown. They're still not out of it, or get a 3 and out.
Yeah, it's sense of urgency for Destrehan right now, and what Dutchtown wants to do, they want to slow things down a little bit. I don't think that they may be even throwing the ball this drive. It may be all runs, and with Destrehan knowing that, they should be blitzing and trying to cover up every gap.
Margrass to carry, and he finds a little seam there and squirts through it and gets up to the 34-yard line, very close to the first down. I didn't think there was anywhere for him to run, and all of a sudden he came away from that massive bodies, and he picks up 9 yards.
I mean, look at the line that he's running behind it. And what is he? He's about 5'7", 5'5"?
He's 5'5", 179 pounds. That Dutchtown offensive line averages 258 pounds.
I think he got lost back there.
Coach Saya says that O-line will battle you, and that's what they've done here. They have really controlled the line of scrimmage in this game, a big key to this contest. Margras takes it around the right end. It's got the first down to the 43-yard line. They'll stop the clock with 6:45 left to go here in this football game. And there is an injured Destrehan player trying to get up. And the training staff is still going to come out there anyways. And slow to get up there is Matt Gunter, an outside linebacker. Well, the key for Destrehan tonight was to try to stop Dutchtown's running game, and they just haven't had as much success as they did last week when they really slowed down a powerful offense in West Jeff. Last week, Destrehan was flying around the football field making plays defensively. Tonight, because they haven't won that battle on the line of scrimmage, they've just struggled to hold their own in this game.
Yeah, and Dutchtown is they have a running back by committee. And then you have to worry about Nickens, and Nickens has been running the ball great.
Right.
So that's tough to try to key on all those different running backs and then plus the quarterback.
Margrass right up the middle. Runs right into big number 97, Joe Sharp. And Destrehan finally wrestles Margrass down. All these different running backs bring a little something different to the table as well. Brown and Mosley and Margrass. So you look behind that Dutchtown sidelines, and looks like we may have a timeout. So 5:56 left to go in this one. We'll take a break. We'll see if Dutchtown can hold on to this one here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Jeff Palermo, Derek Stingley, Haley Asaro, and Brandon Rizzuto from Dutchtown High. Thanks for watching Cox 4 Game of the Week. After tonight, Sting, we're at the halfway mark of the regular season. It's
already
unbelievable to think 5 games in the books. Both of these teams did not play in the season opener because of Hurricane Isaac. 2nd down and 6. Clock running again after that water break timeout. Nickens can run a lot of clock off. Still 14 on the play clock as he takes his time here. Destrehan brings some extra bodies, but they cannot bring down Margrass, who gets it all the way up to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 17 on that play as Dutchtown continues to have success running the football.
Yeah, they're able to get outside. They're able to get in between the A gaps. They're running through the B gaps. I mean, Dutchtown, they're just owning the line of scrimmage right now, and then they're being physical runners to where they're carrying defenders at least 4 yards after point of contact.
Reggie Miles, I saw a block down the field there for the Griffins. And again, Dutchtown trying to allow as much clock off, try to milk as much time off that clock right now as they have it at the 34-yard line. This is Kajan Coleman, who gets a chance to carry the football here tonight. And I might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage in the Wildcats defense there, led by Joe Sharp, number 97. He's a senior. Only averaged 229 pounds on that 3-man front. And again, Destrehan, when they were winning state titles, they had some big linemen. But Joe Sharp has been pretty good. Former offensive lineman, had a big game last week against West Jefferson where he had an interception and a fumble recovery. That's a defensive end's dream. That's a career for some guys. He had that all in one game.
You don't hear about that often in one game.
2nd down and 9. Handoff again to Coleman around the left end, and I think Rajuan Marbley, one of the men there defensively, and you see number 97 Sharp there as well. So that brings up 3rd down as we get close to the 4-minute mark. So if they can make it 3rd and long and then force Dutchtown to punt, then Destrehan might have an opportunity here. But as you can tell, the clock is just dwindling down.
Don't forget, Dutchtown has a pretty good kicker now. He can probably make it from this distance.
Yeah, right now, if they don't pick up another yard, that would be a 50-yard field goal try. And you're right, Sting. He does have the leg to boot him from 50-plus. Coleman in the backfield with Nickens. Destrehan brings the linebackers. Coleman to carry. A yard or two, and that is it. Destrehan's going to call timeout. We'll take it with them. 3:24 left to go. 2 touchdown lead for the Griffins. Can they hold on here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week? 4th down here. Destrehan needs a stop here to have any chance to win this football game. Nickens looking downfield, throws, has got his man wide open, and taking it down the sidelines is Torrance Mosley is before he's knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Little wheel route there.
Yeah, that was a good play to have in your back pocket right there because he ran like a little slant stop with Christie, and 2 guys went with Christie, and it looks as if Mosley was just going to flare out, but then he wheeled up to the sideline, and there was no defenders over there.
Well, you just had to buy your time there. You needed to make sure your offensive line did its job pass protecting. And then just dumping that football.
Yeah, because now if you get single coverage, you just throw it to Christie, who's going to catch it. But 2 guys went with Christie, which I would send 2 guys on him as well. And Mosley was just by himself.
Now with the carry is Mosley trying to get into the end zone, and he does. Touchdown, Griffins, and that should do it. Dutchtown has responded after losing a tough one last week to Zachary. They come back here tonight and beat one of their old rivals, the Destrehan Wildcats, and they do it very efficiently, I should say.
Yeah, this was a good drive. It was only, one pass play on this drive because they were trying to milk the clock. It was all runs, and it was all positive runs, big plays, probably like average at least 5 yards to play.
Sarazan on the extra point, so that 4th down, the big pass to Mosley. 3:03 is left, 42-21. We'll get to see Destrehan's offense one more time when we come back here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Tyler Sarazan kicking it off once again as Dutchtown is on its way to its 3rd victory of the season. Destrehan will fall to 2-2 after suffering a loss here. But you could tell this Wildcats team, as you take a look at the Arsenault Ford scoring drive, your hometown team in New Iberia, 9 plays, 75 yards. The big play to conversion on 4th down, Mason Nickens hitting Torrance Mosley for 20-plus yards. But you can tell this Destrehan team is on its way back to being another team to be reckoned with in Class 5A.
They just ran into a team that was pretty upset that they lost last week.
Yeah. I mean, when you only lose, or when you lose for the first time in the regular season since 2009, to think that Dutchtown was going to lose again here tonight, it's almost unthinkable. There's only a few players on this varsity team that have ever practiced after suffering a loss. Think about that.
Yeah.
Usually when they lost, it was in the playoffs. Yep. Last year they lost to Ponchatoula.
Yeah.
A couple years back they lost to Westgate. There's pass over the middle, and that is caught on the play. Derek McGee making the catch. Should be enough for a 1st down, and it is to the 31.
You see, when he steps and throws, it's a nice pass. I mean, it was right on the money. It had a good velocity behind it. It was crisp. I mean, the timing was perfect, but when he just stands there and just uses our arm, he shorts-armed the ball, and then he goes right to the ground. Like that pass right there, perfect pass. Call him in stride. I mean, this kid has all the tools. You just got to be more consistent.
Lou Donovan Wells on the catch there. He's only a junior, and we said it earlier, Coach Stephen Robichaux said it, that this is a great sophomore class. And we've seen Will Matthews make some plays. He's a sophomore. Alfred Smith, he's only a sophomore. So there is something special building at Destrehan. Isom steps into that one again, and that's Ricky Jefferson, who is a senior, of course. Now, he's a 4-star recruit listed as a cornerback. He's got 4.5 speed, but we've seen him make some plays there and limps off a little bit heading back to the sidelines. Well, actually, he'll stay in the game, or will he? Well, I think he'll come out.
Yeah, he's going to college as a defensive back, correct?
That's where they have him at. Yeah, right now. You know, at 5'11", to play in the Southeastern Conference, you better have some.
You better be like.
You better be really fast. Pump fake. Isom goes deep. Double coverage. And almost intercepted on the play. As they tried to go to Alfred Smith. Yamari Velez did a nice job on the coverage. Let's take a look at our Farm Bureau game-changing play. Mason Nickens. Why not? This was a big run. I believe this was right towards the end of the second quarter, Sting.
Yeah, this was Tim Tebow style right here. I mean, he showed effort. I mean, strength, all that. I mean, he's a good guy to have as your quarterback.
Farm Bureau Insurance, real service, real people. Isom rolls out, pass along the far sidelines. Did he get a foot in bounds? Looks like he did. And that'll be a 1st down. So there you take a look at the Dutchtown sidelines. They got to feel good about this one after a tough loss. They started the year, as I mentioned, shutting out Donaldsonville. Lost last week to Zachary, 21-14. In that game, They had 3 kicks that were blocked, 1 punt and 2 field goal attempts. But we haven't seen any special teams issues either. For both of these teams have had their problems. Destrehan had a couple punts blocked against Carr. Swing pass here. And this is Will Matthews. Makes a man miss. Gets inside the 30 to 29. Wildcats would like to add another touchdown on the scoreboard, but 90 seconds and counting in this one.
Where are we at with the yardage on Isom right now? I mean, he has to be well over 200-something yards passing.
And you go with the over 100 yards rushing in this game, a complete game for him. Mason Nickens has had an outstanding football game. 2 great quarterbacks going at it. That's what high school football is all about. 1st and 10, Isom, another pump fake towards the end zone, and that one's going to be intercepted. Dutchtown bringing it back the other way, and picking that pass off is Chris Collins, his 3rd interception of the season, and that will do it. The Griffins will take over, up by 21 with 65 seconds left to go.
You know what? Even though this ball is intercepted, at least Isom was trying to give his team an opportunity. He knew he needed to score quick. He tried to pump fake. If he just puts a little bit more air on it, he has a touchdown. I mean, you do have a guy running down the field scot-free, but he just underthrew him a little bit, and Collins came up with the big play.
First turnover of the night for Destrehan. They did a good job protecting the football with it raining for most of the first half into the second half. And looks like we're going to have a timeout by Dutchtown. Let's take it with them. And when we come back, we'll have the conclusion of this one, and we'll hear from Dutchtown head football coach Benny Saya on the Cox 4 Game of the Week. Less than a minute to go in this one. Dutchtown's going to get the win, improve to 3-1 on the season, as they'll take a knee. And I don't think Destrehan will try the Greg Schiano Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think about that, head football coach Derek Stingley?
Well, you know what? I would be just as upset as the New York Giants coach was.
Yeah.
I mean, this game's been around a long time. You understand that there's certain things that happen without anything really being said. And right there, we're giving up.
Yeah.
We're saying, hey, guys, we're kneeling. We don't want to put any more points on you.
Right.
But then you're going to try to take my guys out and injure one of my guys? That's not cool.
That commentary sponsored by Derek Stingley. Good football game here tonight, 42-21. Dutchtown back in the win column. Destrehan shows that, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, they will be a force to be reckoned with, would not want to face this team in the playoffs. So right now, Dutchtown is just a better team. They dominated on the line of scrimmage, and that was the big key in this football game. We'll take a break, and when we come back, Haley Asaro will talk with the winning head football coach for the Dutchtown Griffins, Benny Saya, as we wrap things up here on the Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Welcome back to Classic High School Football. It was all Dutchtown in this one. Landon Collins, the junior defensive back for the Griffins, was all over the field and even running back punts. The Dutchtown rushing attack with running back Ephraim Reed and quarterback Leon Bluen was too much for the Wildcats to handle. The two combined for over 200 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. And the Griffin defense was stout as well, holding Destrehan to just 219 yards of total offense. Dutchtown would go on to an undefeated regular season and lose their only game of the year in the 3rd round of the playoffs to Westgate. For Destrehan, better times were ahead. Thanks for watching Classic High School Football on Your View.
A little early gadget play, and back in the second.